Welcome to the BankFirst Ranger Hour. Super Talk Mississippi 93.7 Spotlight on Northwest Community College. And you can listen to our live stream at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the BankFirst Ranger Hour. Now, here's your host, Gary Darby.
Thursdays mean Northwest Community College, so we are ready to discuss a few things in the hour. We'll again go to the Advising and Retention Center for a guest. We'll talk a little bit about that with you again on this Thursday. And then women's soccer. We get ready for sports and things happening on the Northwest campus. And a lot of that we'll get to at the back end of the show. A lot of our coaches will start making appearances on these Thursday programs, and we'll start with women's soccer. First, we'll tell you when Meet the Rangers will occur on the Northwest campus. We've got other things happening. Dr. Michael Heindel, and we'll expand a little bit on this at the back end of the show, nominated to serve on the board of directors of the American Association of Community Colleges, the AACC. We'll tell you what that is and what that means, but a shout out to Doc Heindel for that. And so a lot of things to discuss on our program today. Back into the Advising and Retention Center, and then women's soccer and other things along the way. Today, back into the Advising and Retention Center, and then we've got women's soccer to discuss. That is what we'll do on the program on this Thursday, August 8th. Remember, you can reach us, whether it's safely text messaging in at 662-426-1093, on X at GDARB65. There is a Facebook page, North Mississippi Spotlight with Gary Darby, and you can get in a lot of different ways. We'll do what we can for you, talking about things here in North Mississippi between the Gallo program, which goes 6 to 9, and middays with Gerard from 10 to 1. Today, it is all Northwest Community College. Powered by BankFirst. We thank our friends at BankFirst. They help us on every Thursday bring Northwest Community College discussion to you. And we're often going with another edition of the show.
This hour is everything Northwest. Your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College and powered by BankFirst. Thanks for joining us on the BankFirst Ranger Hour. Join the conversation now by texting 662-426-1093.
Please do, and anytime you hear me doing a program, you can do that. 662-426-1093 is the number to text message in. We'll do athletics in the back end of the program. We got to do the academic part of things first here at 9:15 on your Thursday. And we'll go back into the Advising and Retention Center and bring a new friend to the program out of that office, and we'll get to know Zikeyia Ramsey just a little bit. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. Happy to be here.
Absolutely good to have you with us and get a chance to continue to talk about what your office does, and not only helping the students as it goes on, but retaining them and continuing to stick with them along the way. But we need some background on you. We do this with every first-timer on the show, as you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you got to Northwest.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so my name is Zikeyia. I'm originally from Senatobia, Mississippi. I graduated high school from Senatobia in 2017. I went directly to the University of Mississippi, so hotty toddy. I graduated in 2021 with a bachelor's degree in social work. I also went directly after in the summer to University of Memphis to finish my master's degree in social work. And so immediately after maybe 3 or 4 months, I applied for a position here in Northwest because I wanted to be at home and I adore education. And I've been here for almost 2 years now.
Excellent. So a lot of social work in there. How does that help you do what you're doing with the students on the Northwest campuses?
Yeah, so social work is looking at, every perspective for students or people in general to help them overcome and provide overall well-being. And so I think with social work and kind of aligning with education, they're one and the same. We're helping students graduate, be successful, go on to their careers. And so that career social work just aligns perfectly with the academic advising role here on all levels.
You know, we've had, I think this is the fourth or the fifth out of your office that have been on, and each have kind of had different areas or different students to deal with and to advise. What is your area of expertise, so to say? What brand of student do you try and help?
Yeah, so first we help everybody. So even if they're general college, I'm here to help. But I work mostly with psychology students, social work students, of course, pre-nursing and pre-health sciences. So students who are looking to get into their pre-health major or do anything with social work and psychology, I pretty much know all the ins and outs for the most major colleges here in Mississippi.
All right, I pick it myself a lot. I even did it when we were off the air. For a guy that started out in a medical world and labs were late in the afternoon, and I decided sometimes not to go. What do you do in those situations, and how would you help a person like me?
Yes. So first, understanding what are those barriers that are causing you not to go to labs, right? It may be work. Sometimes our students do work. It may be that they're a parent. So first, understanding what those barriers are, and also understanding, okay, let's create a schedule next time that accommodates you a little bit better. So after this first semester, Gary, where I realized, okay, Gary just isn't going to classes. I only know he's not going to those late classes. Let's help our next schedule be a little bit more earlier, and I'll work with you to kind of see what times work best for you, regarding your environment and your personal preference, because it may not be anything kind of stopping you. You may just not be a late person or a morning person. It just kind of depends.
Yeah, I at times I was neither, right? Didn't want to get to those 8 a.m. classes, didn't want to stick around on a sunny fall afternoon and do labs when I could be out doing some other things. So that's part of what you do and helping students. What do you think is a strength that you have and something that you rely on, that those students rely on you as well?
Just being relatable. Being a recent graduate, I understand the many things that are needed to be successful and to graduate and get that diploma. And so I think I build a lot of rapport with my students by understanding, like, hey, I just did this 2 years ago. I know what place you're coming from. I know that sometimes we have social stresses going on and a lot of different things come into play. And just being open and providing their personal space to allow you to talk to me, tell me what's going on. I want to make sure that you're successful. So I think it's been a recent graduate, because I will say, Gary, I'm only 25, and so I'm pretty close to the age of our students here. And so I really understand, hey, what's going on, what do we need to do to get successful and to get that diploma and get out in the workforce.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense in what you're saying there. And but as a Senatobia person, it's home to you. You've known what Northwest has been like from the very beginning, and it can be stressful though for those. Maybe just a county over, even if it's DeSoto County or Marshall County or wherever they may come from. There are some stresses about coming to a college regardless. And I know we talk a lot about how the class sizes, yes, are smaller. You get more of a personal touch from those that are trying, to teach you and to do the things around there. But it can be a stressful time, can it?
That is true. Very stressful. And that's because our kids here to help out with that stress. When you have nobody to turn to and you don't know where to go, come talk to your advisor. Even if it's not an advising issue, I'll be able to, and my coworkers are able to provide you with those resources to help you to that next step. And so I think that the epitome of this office is just to alleviate that stress and to kind of just come in and provide a little bit of solution to ease your anxiety. And
look, I've said this over and over. Had I not been advised many years ago, to get into radio, television, I wanted to be a writer in the print world, and I was pointed in the right direction. And Zikeyia, I've now been doing this for almost 4 decades, right? So,
wow,
I mean, it's awesome. It's been good. And so for those that might be prospective students or moms and dads of a prospective student, listen to what she has said and try and steer your young man or young woman or you yourself to that advisor, because they can definitely help out. I know we still have open enrollment, right? We're getting ready for classes in about, 11 days?
Yes. Classes start on August 19th. It is not too late to come in and enroll and register. We are currently pre-registering students and also registration It's happening right now at Tate Hall on Center Public Campus, but also at the Soda Oxford campus as well. So come on down, get everything situated before August 19th. And even after August 19th, we're still going to be helping you all out within classes.
Excellent. Have you enjoyed the early experience there? As you said, young, fresh out of college, and now doing this, you find this is right up your alley?
Yes, definitely. This is where I am. This is where I like to be. And I feel like it just kind of, when your passion aligns with your career goals, it makes a difference. And so I have a personal passion to just be a direct change agent, a positive change agent, and being able to do that every day in different circumstances is so great.
Excellent. Thanks for your time talking with us this morning and for what you do there, advising and keeping the students on the great pathway there at Northwest. Thanks for being with us this morning.
All right. Thank you.
That's our new friend, Zikeyia Ramsey, with the Advising and Retention Centers. We keep that discussion going and find out, look, she's from Senatobia High, into Northwest, into Ole Miss, back into the job world and helping out in that office and doing good things. And so you can reach out to her or anyone in that advising office. We tell you to go to northwestms.edu. northwestms.edu. You can find out all about that office, what they do, how they can help in any way. Thanks to Zikeyia Ramsey for being on the show. I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit about that news story with Dr. Michael Heindel in the very minute or two that we still have here, as he has been nominated to serve on the board of directors of the American Association of Community Colleges. The AACC is an advocacy organization that represents over 1,000 two-year colleges and grant associate degrees, serving nearly 12 million students across the nation. 32-member board of directors. It tries to ensure high standards of performance, and Dr. Heindel is the only representative from a Mississippi community college on the board this year, and he'll serve a 3-year term through 2027, and in his role, he'll try and contribute to significant changes and reinforce the successful foundations of the organization. So it's from a news release that you can also find on northwestms.edu. Dr. Michael Heindel doing great things there with all of the campuses of Northwest Community College, but now nationally as part of the board of directors of the American Association of Community Colleges. So we give a shout out to Dr. Michael Heindel for that. All right, friends, it is the BankFirst Ranger Hour. We're very comfortable today, 71, 72 degrees. Going to be, yes, in the upper 80s, but not going to feel too humid along the way. So a decent day in North Mississippi if you get out and about. Coming up next, we're going to get into the athletic portion of the show. We'll talk women's soccer. The head coach will join us next. We'll get Coach James Beattie on the program. Talk with you about his team for the upcoming season. They were 21-2 last year. He's built quite a program in Senatobia. We'll find out what he has in his mind about his team next. So hold on. BankFirst Ranger Hour. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the BankFirst Ranger Hour, your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College on SuperTalk Mississippi 93.7 and streaming live at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the BankFirst Ranger Hour.
All right, good stuff again from the Advising and Retention Center. Zikeyia Ramsey on with us on how they help students and what they do there in that building, Yalobusha Hall. And we thank them for, again, giving us a guest on our Thursday program. It's into athletics we go now. I've got a few other things that we'll get into with Meet the Rangers and whatnot coming up a little bit later on in the month. Some of our teams have already been in action with some exhibition and have done some things. And we'll talk about one of those now, women's soccer coach and a guy we've had on this program a few times, James Beattie's back with us. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. Kind of keeping up with you on social media. You've been all over the world, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been crazy last 6 months, just recruiting and a little bit of family time at Christmas as well. So, yeah, it's just been crazy. I'm ready to just not be on a plane for a while.
How's the family? How's the little one?
Yeah, doing well, causing problems. I'm starting to figure out he might be a psychopath, so we just need to keep watching that space. He's got a lot of energy.
Absolutely, and that's one of the reasons you don't want to be on that plane, even though he's got a lot of energy, being around and getting a chance to see that. So,
Correct.
You've got this program. We started with you from the beginning, and watching what you have done and getting this team to nationals and getting it in an opportunity to maybe win a national championship along the way. Are you still, where this program is moving, right? Is it still in the direction you want? And is this, I know there's probably always you want some more, but do you understand where I'm going? And I know you've had a lot of success there, but how do you feel about this program?
Yeah, I think obviously last year we won our conference, which is like technically the state championship. We had another appearance at nationals, so it's trending in the way we want it to trend each year. Obviously, we're going to have some years where we might have classes that are young or classes that just maybe aren't as strong as previous classes. But I think in terms of putting Northwest on the map nationwide is something that we've done now. And when I go to recruiting events a few years ago, it would be more, hey, I'm James from Northwest, where's Northwest? And now it's more, hey, I'm at Northwest, and they're like, oh, we've seen you at nationals, or oh, this player, plays in our conference now. They used to play with you down there. So it's just kind of creating that culture of, we're on the map, and we want to stay on the map and continue to get better. And that the only thing that we need to check off in terms of accomplishments is winning the national championship. That's the one that we've still not done yet. Each year we can win two things. One is the conference, and then two is nationals. Last year we won one, and then we fell short in the other. So the program's definitely trending in the direction we want it to trend, and we just need to continue to keep working hard and keep trying new ideas and keep getting better. We need to evolve. Even though we've had success, I'm big on continuing to evolve. Even though we done well last year, it doesn't mean we just do the exact same things last year and just copy and paste. We want to get better. We want to push the envelope. We want to try and make the experience for our players better every single year.
I'm looking at the roster, and I talk with every coach in every sport, and I know it flips every year, right? I mean, you got 2 years to deal with the young ladies on your soccer program here. Mm-hmm. You have to fill holes year after year. Do you think that what you lost from last year's team, that this freshman class can come in and help fill those gaps?
Yeah, 100%. I think that last year we lost a lot of defensive players, and this year we've gained a lot of offensive players, so we've kind of flip-flopped. But I think the girls that we brought in are all capable of stepping in and filling the gaps, no problem. I think it's just a matter of them getting used to the level, used to the intensity, used to the volume of the intensity. That's something that I've been big on pre-season so far. Is it's all good having one good day, two good day. It's really starting to combine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good days in a row, and that's where you get the consistency piece. And all top athletes are consistent. There's a lot of good athletes that are inconsistent, and maybe that's why they're not playing at the highest level. So I think it's just the volume of training and trying to push the girls to really fulfill their potential and honestly just get to where they can get to individually and collectively to maximize their talent.
What about in goal, Coach? How are you set there this year?
Yeah, so we're returning A.K. Harrow, who played last year. In my opinion, she was the best goalkeeper in the nation last year. She's very, very good. She's already attracting a lot of attention from Division 1 programs. So in goal, we're really lucky to retain her. We've also brought in a freshman, Anne-Marie Barton, that's a very, very good goalkeeper that's going to be there to challenge AK, and I expect her to do big things this year as well. So we've got a real competitiveness aspect when it comes to the goal this year. So super excited to watch they two compete.
I know you've already been on the pitch. You've had an opportunity against Arkansas State. You've got 3 other exhibitions to go, and obviously this is not win or loss that you're looking at. What did you see in that first match, and now what do you tell the team afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, we schedule 3 Division 1 games in pre-season, 3 NCAA Division 1 games in pre-season on purpose. We want our kids to get exposed to the highest level in the nation. Arkansas State are a really, really good program. They play in a good conference. This Saturday we play against University of Arkansas at Little Rock, another really good Division 1 program. So it's really about us trying to expose ourselves. And also just compete at that level, like obviously being a junior college, we only have obviously the freshman and sophomore class. Arkansas State on Tuesday had 8 players that were fifth-year players because of the COVID year. So, I mean, they had 8 players that were probably around 24, 25 years old versus 14 of our girls. That was their first college game. So we want to expose ourselves. We want to play against the best. And we also want to humble them as well. Like, that's something that I said to them after the game. Like, I mean, obviously we've had a lot of success, and we could quite easily schedule junior colleges and go out and run up the score and be comfortable and think we're really good. But I want to expose the players, and I also want to expose us as a coaching staff to a higher level for us to see where we need to get better and where we need to improve. So it really helps us drive the standards within pre-season, playing these hard games.
Well, and that's because, just like every other sport, Mississippi is loaded with women's soccer teams. There's a lot of times you get to the end of the year and you're going to be facing them, maybe even see some of them, throughout that have been to nationals or can go to nationals just like you. So you have to be prepared for things like that.
Yep.
Give us a couple of thoughts, if you don't mind, before I let you go. The Olympics are going on. Are you paying attention to both men and women's soccer in the event in Paris?
Yeah, we're watching it. Obviously, with the way we're training right now, there's a lot of sessions we're doing each day. But I'm excited to watch the US women's national team on Saturday playing the final, and then the men's has been a little bit less in regards to watching it. But I've watched a few games here and there. But yeah, it's super exciting. Like right now, soccer in America is really starting to boom. The World Cup is coming in 2026 to the US. The US are hosting. And then I believe in 2027, US are also hosting the Women's World Cup. So I think America's one of the nations that's going to hold back-to-back World Cups. So just bringing a World Cup to a country, the data shows the impact it has on the sport. And it's super exciting to watch the game grow on the national level.
With that, how has it continued to grow and help within this northwest area of Mississippi? There's several high schools that are putting out players for you. Is it continue to expand the way you hope?
Yeah, I think even from when I took over 4 years ago, the standard of player is a lot higher, which is credit to the high school coaches, credit to the club coaches, and credit to anyone who's involved with the youth soccer pathway. I feel as if up in this area, for sure, we're starting to see a lot of talent emerge in the north, which is exciting for us. This year, we have a lot of DeSoto County kids. We have a lot of North Mississippi Lafayette kids on the roster. So it's exciting to see the players that are playing at, we've got one from Hernando, one from Lewisburg, 2 from DeSoto Central. We've got one from Lafayette, one from Oxford. So we really, really have a good mix of players coming from local schools and then also competing on the national platform at Northwest. So you can see the correlation between the local schools and the local players improving, and then us as a program obviously improving as well.
James, it's always a pleasure talking with us. Thanks for telling us about your team this year.
Yep, super excited. Appreciate you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Head coach James Beattie on with us. Women's soccer at Northwest, a national power. As he mentioned, as we were talking about, Tuesday they went up against Arkansas State in Jonesboro in an exhibition match. They still have 3 others. Arkansas Little Rock on Saturday, Arkansas Pine Bluff on Monday, and they will actually host Delta State on Wednesday the 21st. So getting an opportunity to play some Division I and then the Division II program of Delta State in the month of August before the schedule actually begins with a home match against Mineral Area College on August 24th. And so they will continue with a couple of home matches. They'll throughout that also get another exhibition with Rhodes College in the mix. And, not only do they, they're not skimp on the schedule, it's difficult in the preseason. It's difficult in the early part before they actually get into the MACCC. And then you deal with nationally ranked teams up and down there. Now, the polls haven't come out to get things ready, but after 21-2 a season ago, you have to feel like Northwest will be once again one of the top-ranked women's soccer teams in the country. James does a great job with that program. So the first time you can see them there on the Northwest campus will be against Delta State, an exhibition coming up on Wednesday, August 21st. And then the regular season begins on that Saturday, the 24th. We thank him for being a part of our show again this year. It is the BankFirst Ranger Hour. We've got 20 minutes left to talk. So I've got a few things to get into when we come back about other sports, how you can meet some of the women's soccer team and other teams coming up by the end of the month as well. So please stick around, and we'll put a wrap on another BankFirst Ranger Hour next.
Thanks for listening to the BankFirst Ranger Hour, your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College on SuperTalk Mississippi 93.7 and streaming live at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the BankFirst Ranger Hour.
All right, we thank Coach Beattie for being on with us, the Northwest women's soccer team getting ready and prepared, as are a lot of the different sports. And we will talk about this over future Thursdays. We have time. But I'll go ahead and tell you today that, NWCC, they will start the 2024 fall sports season with its annual Meet the Rangers event. That's scheduled on Tuesday, the 27th of the month. Now, admission's free. It's at 7 o'clock. It'll be at Bobby Franklin Field, and they'll recognize members of the rodeo team, volleyball, football, men and women's soccer, men and women's golf, cheerleaders, dance team, and the Ranger Marching Band, which will have about 200 people in it. And all that will go on Meet the Rangers. Now, football season's still about a month away. Northwest volleyball, men's soccer, women's soccer will get their seasons going in the next few weeks. Lady Rangers have already played that exhibition matches we talked about and have others that are scheduled. Northwest volleyball will host Frontier and Rust College on Saturday, the 17th. Men's soccer is scheduled to begin their season on Thursday, the 15th, at Blue Mountain Christian. And then Northwest golf and rodeo teams get their debuts of the season later in September. And as far as Northwest football is concerned, they open up the 2024 campaign at home against Pearl River. That's Thursday, August 29th, that contest at 7. So many different things and sports that are out with their schedules at NWCCRangers.com. And we'll be talking with a lot of those coaches in these future Thursdays as we get a little deeper into the roster, the schedule, and more, as we did with coach there in the women's soccer team, talking about his two goalkeepers, one a sophomore from Tupelo, the other a freshman from South Haven who went to DeSoto Central, and then, the mixture of players from North Mississippi. He mentioned several in the DeSoto County world, a couple of Lafayette Countyans, one from Oxford High, one from Lafayette, but Caledonia's put a couple of players on this roster as well, and he's able to go out and recruit a little nationally, as he said, as Sparkman, Alabama, which is in that Huntsville kind of area. Harvest High School is over with a defender and a player there, but he's reached out into Texas, down into Central Mississippi and Brandon, a Trinity, Alabama and then nationally as well, grabbing a player, a new freshman from Germany on the list. And then I see places like Saltillo, Starkville, then another from Alabama in that mix, with a Biloxi making its way from D'Iberville High School all the way up to Northwest to play on this team. And that's what he has done in his 4-year stint, as he has, put this team on the map and has been able to now, as he said, get out and people realize the name Northwest Community College in the women's soccer world. And before, and instead of having to, just go and recruit, and they were asking where NWCC actually was, they know now because they have seen the results and how his program has performed over the years. So they'll get their schedule going and running here soon as you get that opportunity down the road next to catch them in their first home match with Delta State coming in. But they'll still this weekend go to Little Rock. Middle of the week next week they'll go to Pine Bluff, and then they'll finish up the exhibition season and get going there. So a lot of things going on in the world. Our buddy Brian Lentz, who was on the program when Hayden took care of things last week, was on, I'm sure, talking about a lot of those things. But go to NWCCRangers.com. You can find out all that information that you need on any of the sports, the Meet the Rangers or whatever it might be. All those press releases and more are waiting for you. So all the different things that are happening at Northwest. We will, I think it looks like, going to be able to get Donnie Edwards on the program again. Donnie will be performing at the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts about his elite tribute to Elvis. Elvis Week starts tomorrow in Memphis and runs through the 17th. Donnie will be a part of things going on in Memphis, but on the 17th, on that Saturday, he will be back at the Heindel Center. He was there before. A great show. And, I mean, if you get the time, you can even Google the man, Donnie Edwards, and an Elvis tribute. Look at him. Look how much he looks like Elvis and then sounds like Elvis, moves like Elvis. It's going to be a good night there at the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts. You can get those tickets. They are available for you to go, as well as coming up a little bit later in the month, Jeff Foxworthy. But Donnie Edwards, an elite tribute to Elvis. You can get tickets starting at $30, and they go up to $50 Saturday on that August 17th at 3 o'clock. So an afternoon show for you. And I do believe we're going to have Donnie on next week's program to talk with us again about what he does in the performance, where he goes with that performance. Will you hear the 50s, the 60s part of things, or where will he go? And so we'll find out with Donnie next week as part of the program. But you can go to Heindel Center on the social media, and you can find out more. HeindelCenter.org, where you can get those seats to see Donnie Edwards or an evening with Jeff Foxworthy and special guest Tammy Pescatelli, who will be in Senatobia on the 23rd of the month. So we have a lot of different things going on at the Heindel Center for you to pay attention to as well. That is HeindelCenter.org. Thanks to BankFirst again for helping us as they power this BankFirst Ranger Hour. To Zikeyia Ramsey, who joined us from the Advising and Retention Center, and women's soccer coach James Beattie. We thank all of you for being a part of our program today. We're out of here for a few. We'll let you get into that full run of Super Talk shows, and we'll follow the Gallo program tomorrow morning a little after 9 o'clock. Enjoy this Thursday, and until tomorrow, what we say is so long.
Now the time has come for leaving, and now we shall return. We were so glad we could make it, but so sad we got